Hello there, World of Tankers, I'm World of Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about what, in my opinion, is the best Tier 10 currently to grind in World of Tanks Blitz. Now, a little bit back, about 5 months ago, I made a video saying that the IS-7 was the best Tier 7 to grind, because, first of all, the IS-7 is quick, it's got a great gun, decent alpha, it's got good mobility, it's kind of got everything you want for a Tier 10 heavy, it's the jack of all trades, and of course, heavies are the easiest to run when you're starting off in the game. But a lot of people also argued that the IS-4 is better, and I will agree that the IS-4 is a better Tier 10, but what a lot of people don't think about is getting to the IS-4, you have to grind the ST-1 stock, and yeah, having 175 pen at Tier 10 is one of the worst experiences possible. I would always suggest to skip right past it if you have the opportunity. So if you go for the IS-7, the IS-3's top gun goes right to the IS-8 already having decent pen, so that way you can actually know what you're doing, unlike the ST-1. Also, the KV-4 stock is just, yeah, not necessarily a great experience, but neither of these tanks are currently, in my opinion, the best to grind. Now, really quickly, before I do get into the best Tier 10 lights, sorry for this little brief break, but I wanted to thank you guys for all of the support on the channel over the past year. This channel's only a year old, just about a little over a year now, and we're at 28,000, just about 29,000 subscribers now, which is ridiculous for me to believe. I just can't thank you guys enough for the support, and if you're new to the channel, you're watching this video trying to find something out about the Vickers or what you want to grind next, you like this video, please make sure to consider subscribing to the channel. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers. That is a colossal stone for me to break, and just thank you guys for all the support, but I'll get straight back into the video. It starts off at Tier 8 with the Vickers, actually it's not the Vickers, it's the FV301. This vehicle is fantastic. Not only does it have the best penetration standard for a Tier 8 light, in fact the only Tier 8 light having over 200mm at 226, it's got like a Carnarvon Action 10 gun. It's got a 4.2 second reload dealing 190 damage, so it's got crazy damage per minute at 2700. So it's just pummeling shell after shell into the enemy. Not only that, it's got great mobility, great spotting, and as well, it's actually got armor. So it's kind of weird having a light tank with armor, a great gun, great DPM. This is, in my opinion, the best Tier 8 light. Then you move into the Vickers CR, which, of course, is the best Tier 9 in the game. Currently, it's performing, I think, 62% average win rate, which is higher than even the Smasher almost. So the Vickers CR is definitely a crazy vehicle. Again, super easy to grind stock. You'll look at the stock gun. It's got good penetration, again, 237 on the standard. So overall, it's not a bad tank to grind stock. And when you get to the top gun, it is fantastic. Not only does it have the same type of gun as the Tier 10, it has HESH, 116mm of HESH penetration, and it's dealing 440 average damage. Once again, it has great spotting, great camouflage, and yeah, it's actually got decent armor. It bounces a lot of shells right in the gun mantlet, and then you move on to the Vickers Light, which is the king of the trio. Now, I actually do think that the Vickers CR is tier for tier better, but Tier 10, of course, is the piece de resistance. You want to play Tier 10, so I do think that the Vickers Light is currently the best Tier 10 to grind in the game. Not only does it have 10 degrees of gun depression, it's got decent armor where it can actually ricochet a lot of shells on the gun mantlet. I'm actually fairly confident with it, more than like an FE4202. You have that HESH that I told you about with 440 average damage. You've got 3000 damage per minute, great heat penetration. This is, in my opinion, currently not only better than all the lights in the game, but also better than pretty much all the mediums at Tier 10. So of course, in today's video, I'm going to be playing it live for you guys. If you do enjoy this type of content, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel, but here we are on mines, and looking at the enemy lineup, they have the WZ-121 and they have the Leopard. Now, I have an E50M on my team, and I am, of course, the fastest tank here because they don't have any lights, and I'm pretty quick, so I'm going to push up into the mid. This could be an awful idea, and I'm always going to second guess myself here because, yeah, it's a pretty tricky thing, but thankfully my E50M did not get stuck behind me, and here we go. So I'm going to load. I'm just going to stick with standard, actually. The question is, am I going to be able to get there before that 121 shoves a big, meaty shell into me? Because, of course, that 121 does have a massive gun mounted on it, but you know what? We were able to get there, and perfect. Okay, so now I'm in one of the best positions in Blitz. Now, sadly, my E50M, yeah, he just lost a massive chunk of HP, and so did I guess. That VK managed to hit me right in the turret, so that's not good right off the bat. This is definitely a little bit of a tricky scenario, but I'm actually going to try. Of course, the best way, in my opinion, to cover this position is when you come all the way around, and then you go to the other side, because that way you're able to shoot the enemy tanks, and they're not looking at you. So here we go. I'm at the safe spot. Now, hopefully this E50M does not get taken out, because I was detected when I crossed, but it looks like we're all good. The issue is that I have no tanks covering mid, but we got the 121 right there, and we bounced him in the turret. Gotta love my luck, but you know what? we do out-reload him, so let's of course just aim right at the guy's lower plate, and there you go. Nice little penetration right in there. I'm actually going to pop up. We're going to load heat because the 121 does have a really troll hull. There we go. Nice tap right through the 121, and you can start to see why the Vickers Light is such an annoying vehicle to deal with. It's just great. It's got the DPM, it's got the gun depression, so we just got the 121 out of a super aggressive position. That's fantastic. That means I really don't have to worry about him that much. Now we've got vehicles like the 183 right here, who we can just tap a nice little Hesh right into there. And of course he fired, which means that I can get another Hesh shell in. Now this 121, yeah, I noticed he was aiming at me, so of course we're going to be hit by that, but that's not the end of the planet. So now we're just going to back up. Of course, I do not want to be hit anytime soon by that grill, but we've already taken off like 1,000 hit points from that poor 183. And that's, of course, because this tank has that great Hesh penetration. So that's one thing I love about this vehicle. Now, I would push aggressive to try and spot that 183, but the issue, of course, with that is I'm a one-shot. If I hadn't gotten hit by the 121 there, I would have been fine. But now that I have been hit, of course, I can't really afford to get hit again because I'll be dead. I will test my armor occasionally, but not against a 183. Yeah, that's a little bit of an iffy thing. So there's the WZ-121 pushing quite aggressive. So I'm going to wait here patiently. Let's see. I still can't really do much of that, but ooh, the luck is real today. So that's, of course, the 183 waiting for me, and not necessarily sure if I want to play with that. So we're just going to back up here. Let's see if he wants to push out aggressive. I'm not sure if he wants to, but yeah, definitely some tricky stuff. So I'm going to wait. We'll see if he... There we go. Nice little tap. Okay, so that was definitely nerve-wracking. It's always nerve-wracking when you're trying to shoot at a vehicle like that. But now we've got the 121 pushing on me. There we go. Nice little tap into the 121. Now, I think I do out-reload him, so I'm actually going to try and keep him at bay, of course. And let's see if we can get another tap into him. Yes, he missed a shot, so now we are on the go to finish off the WZ-121. So let's push super aggressive on him. Here we go. Finished off the 121. We are doing actually pretty good. This is really stressful, of course, but we're getting out the damage. We're doing our job here. We've got the Leopard pushing off to the side. Let's see if we can get a... Oh, come on, Leopard, back up. You know you want to. Yes. Oh, I'm going to die. Well, I did the best I could there. I noticed just at the last second that grill was pulling out, but as you can see, our team, I'm not really sure what they did this game. They did the best they could, but just sadly, some games are victories and some games are defeats, and our team really just couldn't hold the line good enough. I think the biggest issue, I'm not dissing our E50M at all, but I think pushing up in an E50M, just advice if you're on mines or any maps, the E50M just isn't quick enough in acceleration to kind of get into these super aggressive positions. So I kind of stay a little bit further back in the E50M, then once I know what's going on, I try and push a little more aggressive. But here we go, we got this Ho-Re, and I think the biggest issue actually was sadly this Ho-Re couldn't really get shots because all the heavies were on the other side. But yeah, this Ho-Re, he's going to be taken out by the Waffle. But still, you could see that the first game there went pretty dang good. I was able to get 3,400-ish damage out that game, and that's a pretty solid effort. Like you saw there, definitely over twice as much as he's second highest on the team. Just sadly, you can see our Yagpans are just... Yeah, it's just not great games when you have teams like this, but I was still able to do good, and as I always say, make your defeats count. Because, of course, when you get a victory, well, yeah, you can do 2,000, 3,000 damage easy, but when you lose a game, that's when you really want to try and get your damage high, because if your team does bad, you're still doing top on the team like that game. I don't care if I lose if I do over 3,000 damage, because that's keeping my averages there. Then when I get a good victory out, then it can be like 4,000, 5,000, and it really bumps up the numbers. So that's one little tip out there. But here we are on Yukon. Now this is actually a pretty solid map for a light tank like the Vickers, and hopefully we'll be coming out with a victory this time. Let's tell the team to go this way. Alright, so what do we have up against us? We got the STB-1, Leopard, Sheridan. Now I will say, Sheridans are actually really deadly against the Vickers, and the reason for that being is, of course, I'm losing my mind already, but the reason for that being is because the Sheridan has alpha, and alpha, as I always say, is usually key. If you can hit, you know, this Vickers here for quite a bit of HP, no clue where that shot went, gotta love those shells, but if you can hit me in the Vickers for 560, and I hit you back for 300 and you back up, well, you know, obviously you're gonna be out on top. So we got the E5 off to the side there. We got the Leopard here. There's a lot of vehicles, actually, to be honest, everywhere scattered around the map. Now, I don't know if this E5 is going to try and pull out again, but you know what? Looks like he is. There we go. Nice tracking shot into you. And we could try and get another shell out. Alright, there you go. So he's dealing with teammates there. And who's getting hit? We've got the E3 here. So I'm not really sure what's currently going on with all the teams. But we do have the 50B off to the side. Let's aim in on you. Nice little pen right through the turret. But I do think that this gun is just so reliable in getting out damage. Like, you can see it's really, really easy. So we got the STB off to the side, and I could have fired a Hesh there, but of course I want to make sure I also have reliability within my shots, so yeah, you know, I'm just going to try and make sure my shots pen at the same time. So this poor E5 is just getting bullied every time he pulls out. So there we go, nice shots into the E5. We got the STB and the Sheridan off to the side as well. Oh, I think I hit my teammate's gun barrel. Man, that Sheridan is going on thin ice right now. Here we go, we're not going to miss this shot. Finally, imagine if that one had missed, but we're getting out damage here, so can't complain. Let's get one more shell maybe into the Sheridan. Oh, it auto-aimed on the STB if you saw that. Gotta love my luck. That Sheridan is really, really lucky, but you know what? That's fine. We're going to make our way up here trying to get the Sheridan anyways, so you know, STB was taken out, which of course is pretty good for me, and the Sheridan, he's running, so that's always something to keep in mind. But the main guy I gotta be careful right now of course, is the AMX-50B. Now, I do have that Hesh, which means that, you know, I can get a nice little tap in him for literally 450 damage there. We can back up. I can actually trade with a tier 10 heavy tank because, of course, I've got that Hesh. But the Sheridan, yeah, not necessarily going to try and trade with that. That's a tricky vehicle. My team's pushing in quite aggressive, which is something that's good. So here we go. They're going to cover that side. So I'm going to go off to the other side here. I really thought my tracks were going to break there, but here we go. So we got the Sheridan off to the side. Let's get some nice taps and then finally try and finish off this player. Ooh, that's a T10 E3. No, thank you. We're going to run away as quickly as we can from you. I don't want to play with that. Now, one, of course, nice thing is that I actually have a lot more mobility than the Sheridan, so I can actually get this guy chased down. We got the E5 right here, and oh, just went into the wrong spot, and there you go. As you can see, I just lost a massive chunk of HP, of course, because that guy has alpha over us, but the nice thing is, yeah, the Sheridan is not going to beat our reload. So, get a nice tap into the E3. We just broke the 3,000 damage barrier, and you can see it's working quite well for us. So, the issue is this E3 looks like he's really wanting to hit us, but you know what? Finally, finishing off that Sheridan there. We needed to do that. All we have left is the E3 right here. Let's get a nice tap into the side, and as you can see, this game started off kind of sketch. A couple of the shells really didn't seem like they wanted to go there, but you know what? We almost getting that shot in, but you know what? We did pretty good. How much damage did we get out? Probably about 3,500. So again, if you make your victories count, especially in this vehicle, they go very, very well. 3,500 damage there. So I can't complain whatsoever. Those were two really solid games. So there you go. That is my opinion on the best tier 10 to go for currently in the game. All three of the tanks are fantastic. The Vickers CR, great gun. It's the best in the entire line. Then you go to the Vickers Light, and it doesn't let down at all. I remember platooning with one of my friends, and when it first came out, it was ridiculous. You get 5,000 damage games after one and another, and it is a little tricky, I will say that. For a newer player, it will be tricky to start off with, but once you understand the mechanics, you get your Hesh loaded, it really is a great and fantastic vehicle to grind. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, if you agree with me or you disagree, but hopefully you're all doing well out there. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below, but other than that, hope you're all doing well, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.